Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carla Moore with my Labor Day message 2013. Um, and I'm under the most unflattering light. Is this bright fluorescent this lamp because as of right now. So Maga start sweat like yaso and yaso, like when bad pick me I eat hot food, Maga start sweat right there, and it's ever unattractive, so just look out for that. But what I wanted to talk, so it's Labor Day, and the point of Labor Day is that people are supposed to go out and they're supposed to do things to build their communities and by extension build a nation. Now plenty people not really bother with the Labor Day thing again, because once upon a time when Labor Day come, like, you could not find whitewash anywhere in any type of hardware because everybody did a whitewash down them tree, them whitewash all them picnic, the picnic lay themselves careless, and when they done everything sparkling new, the community center get a facelift, all them something there. There are still a few people doing Labor Day things right now, but I find a lot of it is corporate Jamaica that is leading it. No, actually not smaller community, because I pass some people are whitewash one piece of media in order to buy Fairview today. So yeah, why them something that's still like one, but a lot of people take the opportunity to just rest. Like them just Labor Day is just a mid-week weekend in preparation for the weekend, and everybody rest off them body and talk about how them work hard every other day, so them see why they must labor today and all of them type of something there, which is fine and it's fair. But thinking about Labor Day has got me to thinking about Jamaica. Inevitably, that's where my brain goes. And this discussion that I always end up having with people where they're like, them not understand why it even makes sense to try to build Jamaica because it's impossible, it gone too far, nothing left to build. For a lot of people who are overseas or who have children overseas, the children don't want to come back to Jamaica. At least that's the story we hear. But then we know that as many people who come back to Jamaica and don't want to stay, or who don't want to come back, you have a set of people who do want to come back, but they do have a certain set of fears, right? That they won't get the opportunities that they can get overseas, that the crime is a problem, that as soon as them come home and them hear you with the look of foreign twang, are you the thief them going to target to come to down to take away or something them where you work so hard overseas to come carry down here for the thief it, and all of these types of things that happen. So it got me to thinking about labor, love as labor, and how it is that when you're in a relationship with a person, a place, or a thing, sometimes that person, place, or a thing will hit a rough patch. And there's a type of labor that you have to do to keep loving and being committed to that person, place, or thing while that rough patch is playing out, with the hope that it will somehow improve and get better. And so I started thinking about KC. I don't know if you know, but KC, as in Kingston College, used to be a very prominent school. And then KC went through a rough patch, sustained rough patch, scholastically it went down, reputation of the school went down, all of those types of things. And then you had a cohort or a couple cohorts of KC old boys who took the decision that they were going to reinvest in the school as a means of bringing up the school. They didn't necessarily give money to the school. What they did is they sent their sons there. They just sent their sons back to the school because they knew the caliber of person that they had become from graduating from KC, and they knew the caliber of people that their sons were and what their sons would bring to the school. And so the school turned up back, all type of athletics thing and all types of schools challenge things and all of these type of things, and it was just investing human power. They put people back in the school. They went against the grain. And I started to think about Jamaica and the effects of the brain drain on Jamaica. And yeah, the brain drain is a very cliche term, and it's something that we're always talking about, how a good percentage of our best and our brightest end up overseas and they spend their productive years investing in other people's countries, and then they come back. Now, I don't have no beef with the diaspora now, because as you know, I'm split between Jamaica and Canada right now. My commitment is to come back to Jamaica, but I understand that my views on Jamaica are very much decided by my experiences of being in Jamaica. If I had a different set of experiences, it's possible that I would not want to come back here. I want to come back here, but I don't have any beef with anybody who don't want to come back. And remember, say, God bless the diaspora right now, because if I never feel Western Union, big up to Western Union. Remember when they did come out with that little woo card there, and when Marshall did a bucket here, they did have my woo card. The Western Union and remittances are carrying this country right now. So the diaspora is helping to support Jamaica in a big way. So I not have no struggles and problem and beef with anybody in the diaspora. But what I think about is the human element and the loss of the human potential when it is that people migrate, and what it is that it takes for people to stay. Now, as a 31 actually, year old person, somebody where I look for buy house and buy car and make life and have baby and all of those types of things, somebody who's very much thinking about their future, the decision to stay in Jamaica is a very personal one, because for people of my age group and a little bit above and a little bit below, the decision to stay in Jamaica can feel like a decision to deliberately stifle yourself with the hopes that you're doing that will reap benefits for the country. because you're sitting here, sometimes you can feel like a sitting duck because of the crime rate. Like, it just feels like the crime just gets closer and closer and closer to your circle until you're like, inevitably one day it must be me. Like, you must just get robbed. It is a rite of passage. I'm gonna jump you in to your citizenship, then I'm gonna rob you. You know that jobs are exceptionally hard to find, and it's about not only who you know but who know you. You know that housing and all of them type of thing there, it can seem like it's expensive because of where the salaries are, and it's more difficult. Like in America, you can probably get like 3-4 job and all of them type of something. Here in Jamaica, we don't necessarily have systems set up like that. And even where the systems are set up like that, we have to accept responsibility. We are hesitant. We will go foreign, go decide say, yeah, we're gonna have a big job at daytime and go fold clothes and put up a rack at night time, but we're not gonna do the same thing in Jamaica because everybody here knows and there's status things and all of those type of things going on. So it's very complicated and messy to navigate it. But staying in Jamaica can feel like a labor of love, right? And I wonder what would happen if more of us took that decision to try to stay, or to try to encourage our children to come back to try to reinvest that type of human capital in the country. I personally believe it would be worth it, but I cannot have beef with anybody who does not think that it is worth it. So for this Labor Day, I know that the focus is on a kind of physical labor and a kind of building of infrastructure or repainting or fixing or all of that type of thing. But for this Labor Day, if I could ask Jamaicans to think about anything, because I know say by now, those who was laboring or they done labor and who is at home now digesting the canned meat dumpling and bully beef for them to cook on the roadside, you and on the lick on a 10 finger and feel nice. And those who were not laboring are just going into a 15th movie of the day, or perhaps is having a little nightcap to cap no off from doing nothing like what I've been doing all day. I've been doing mental labor, which I don't really know how valid that is, but anyway, I know what academics are fix with me. I think if we could think about what human capital or what non-physical labor we could invest in Jamaica, what type of money could we invest in Jamaica, our own money, and how? What type of time could we invest in Jamaica, our own time, and how? If there is a way that we could look to ourselves to do the labor instead of looking outside, because historically Jamaica is kind of wide open territory. The Spanish come here, come do what they want. The English come here, come do what they want. North America and Europe just piss for them culture all over us, and we just take it up while we bathe in it. And oh, I don't understand. Why does it have to speak with this American accent? I've never left. All of them something there. And we have a tendency to look outwards. Is there a way that we can begin to look inwards to see what it is that we can do for the country, and take it on a more individual level? What can I do for the country, and how does my decision to stay or go, or when I go, my decision to come back, or how it is that I choose to give back to the country, how can I have a real and meaningful impact on national development in a way that does more than whitewashes walls, which is equally important. Please whitewash those walls. But I think we're at a point in Jamaica that the decision to stay here is not going to be an easy one. And if it is that in 3 years I decide that I can't take it no more and I left, I don't want nobody post up the video upon me and say, oh my God, you said you were going to stay. Every person has to make a decision that is going to make their life better. And what I'm saying is, at this point, staying in Jamaica is a labor of love. It is a personal decision. It can feel like it's a sacrifice for you. But nobody ever promised you a perfect country, and nobody ever promised you a life that was going to be without labor. And I think sometimes for the development of a nation, a space that has a responsibility to more people than ourselves, I think there's a type of investment that we can make. I'm not saying everybody should make it, but I'm saying that it might be something that we should consider. Anyways, it has been 9 minutes now. Big up to everybody who go out, go do them labor. Big up to everybody who go out, go watch other people labor, because I know that there are 5 people who are doing the painting and 15 people who are tending the pot and fanning the fire, but really are not doing anything at all. Love no one another. Big up to Jamaica, all of them type of something there. Take care. Bye bye.